If you have ever wanted to create beautiful home decor out of random items from around your house, then today is your day, because that's exactly what we're going to do. I think that you will be absolutely amazed and blown away by the gorgeous decor items that we are going to create. Now, the word random is very important because we are doing the mystery box challenge today. Now, if you don't know what that is, it's where a whole bunch of talented YouTube creators get together and we mail each other a mystery box with items in it that have a theme, but we do not know what's inside until we unbox it. And I think it's time that we just jump right in and unbox our items. My box comes to me today from our hostess with the mostest, Miss Courtney from Creative on the Cheap. Now, I have seen the boxes that she has sent to other participants before, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous because she could be tough. So we'll see what she sent me. I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed. Let's open it up and see what it is. All right, here we go. Ooh, okay, actually here's a card. Oh, cards and candy. There's nothing better than cards and candy. Let's see what she has to say. Okay, Courtney says, "Hey Lisa, I'm so glad you are doing another round of the mystery box challenge. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. This box will be tricky." Just like what I thought. But I know you'll be able to do your magic and make some beautiful creations. Have fun, much love, Courtney. Okay, that was our warning. So let's see what it is that she sent me. Okay, item number 1, a barbecue campfire. This is actually kind of cute, you guys. I don't know what this is, but I'm loving the cherries. Oh, it's a cute little like tablecloth, right? I think. I love it. Oh, here it is. It says right here, a picnic mat. Oh, yay for this. This is cute. I think we'll be able to do something fun with these cherries. Okay, next up, vacation item. Okay, this is like a little go wrap, it says. You put your contact information on this. Next up, we have something citrus. So it looks like we've got this cute little orange scented journal. Next, we've got our challenge item. This is our outdoor toy or game. Let's see what this is. Okay. We've got a strawberry milky bubble blower. Oh boy. Don't know what we're gonna do with this, but right now this looks like my daughter would love all of these things. All right, up next, we have something for the beach. We've got our little pail with some little shovels and little treasures inside. Next up, we have our popsicle item. We've got a little watermelon popsicle. That's adorable. Okay, next we've got baseball. Quite literally, we have a baseball for our baseball item. Next, we have our next challenge item, which is the sunglasses. I think you're gonna love the sunglasses that I put in my mystery box. They were a lot of fun, so you'll have to see who I sent mine to. I'll let you know at the end. Okay, so she sent me some little Minnie Mouse glasses. This is actually great because I'm about 15 minutes from Disney World, so maybe I'll have my daughter wear these to Disney. Okay, super cute. And then lastly, we have our ice cream item. Oh, not lastly yet. I've got one more in there. Oh, that's really cute. Ooh, I've already got some ideas for this one. That is really cute. A little waffle ice cream cone. And lastly, we have our sun/SPF item, which is this beautiful hat. What do you think? Should I wear it the whole time? A new fashion statement, perhaps. Okay. Yes, Courtney, you definitely challenged me. This is a very interesting box, but I'm actually kind of excited. There are a couple items that I know will be beautiful pieces of home decor, so let's get started. We are going to start off with a very simple DIY. We are going to be using that ice cream cone bowl cup. whatever you want to call it, that's what we're going to use first. Now it's this lovely shade of light yellow, which is fantastic, but that's not going to go with our color scheme today. So I'm going to take it outside and I'm going to spray it in some white Rust-Oleum spray paint. I made sure that the entire cone cup was covered in the paint, and then I let it dry for 1 hour. We are going to be using this cone cup as a container for a beautiful floral arrangement. Now we can't leave this cone cup white, that would be far too boring. So what we're gonna do is get some red ribbon. I headed over to the Dollar Tree and I found a spool of bright red cherry ribbon. It's got a great sheen to it, and it's going to be perfect for the design theme of the day, which we will talk about in just a minute. Now I wanna wrap this ribbon around the cone, but if I were to do it right now, it would slide down, so we need to put some glue on the back. I just got some hot glue. I added a dab of the hot glue to the back of the cone. I pressed the center of the ribbon into the hot glue, wrapped the ribbon around to the front of the cone, and then tied it into a bow. I want to embellish this ribbon even further, so I headed on over to Hobby Lobby and I went down the paper craft aisle that has a whole bunch of stickers, and I found a package of cherry stickers. You guys, these stickers are so darn cute. They've got these little crystals on it, and there's 2 different designs. So we're gonna be using these stickers throughout our decor today. So what I did was I took one of these cherry stickers and I placed the first one on one side of the ribbon, and then I took the additional sticker and placed it on the opposite side of the bow. Already the bow is so cute and definitely elevated. Next, I'm going to take a bouquet of flowers that is already put together, so the guesswork is already taken out of it. And then I also grabbed another stem of some Dollar Tree pink flowers and I intermixed those with the bouquet. And then I just placed it right inside of our cone cup. And that's it for our first DIY. That was so easy, you guys, but look at how adorable it is. We definitely elevated our ice cream cone cup into a beautiful piece of decor. The ribbon, I think, is really what makes it, with these little cherries on the end. And I love the pink flowers that are inside. This is going to be perfect for our centerpiece, which we are going to put together with plenty more items that we are going to create. Now that we're finished with our first DIY, we are going to move on and use that cherry picnic mat. You guys, this for me was the star of the box. I absolutely love this. I love this so much that it's actually going to be our theme for the day. We are going to be using cherries like we have right here, thanks to the inspiration from this picnic mat. Now, I did not want to cut it up or do anything major to it, but I do want to embellish it because it's going to be going on a centerpiece on my kitchen table. Not only are we going to be using a lot of cherries today, but we're also going to be using some bows that are once again inspired by this picnic mat. I am using some red Smart iron-on vinyl. After my 4 bows had been cut out, I hit that flashing arrow button, which released my material. Then I weeded away the excess red vinyl from around the bows, and then I cut my sheet into 4 segments so I had individual pieces. Because we want our bows to stand out, I'm going to create a circle to go around them to highlight them. This time I'm using a Smart gold iron-on vinyl. Once again, I weeded away the excess vinyl from around our design, and then I cut our circles into individual pieces. I'm going to take my circles first and I'm going to put them on the corner of the mat. So I positioned them and then I got my easy press. This is going to heat up the vinyl and fuse it to the fabric on the mat. I set the timer for 30 seconds and the temperature for 330 degrees. I hit the start button, which began the countdown. Once the 30 seconds was up, I removed my easy press. I waited for about 1 minute for the vinyl to cool down, and then I was able to remove the protective coating over the top of the circle. Next, I took my red bow and I placed it in the center of the gold circle. Now you may be wondering why I didn't do this all at one time. Well, because the center of the vinyl had this protective coating on it, I couldn't have put my bow over the top because then it would have been on top of the protective coating and not onto the material. So I'm going to place my red vinyl bow in the center of my gold circle. Because we don't want to heat up the gold vinyl again, I'm going to be using my mini easy press. I heated this up to a high temperature and then I placed it over the top of the red vinyl. I left it in place for about 20 to 30 seconds. I moved it around the surface of the bow until it was completely heated up, and then I removed the protective coating over the top of the bow. Then I simply repeated this process with the remaining 3 corners of my picnic mat. The way that these gold circles highlight the red bows inside is so nice. The bows coordinate beautifully with the bows that tie the cherries together. The coloring is perfect. This small additional detail elevates the look of our picnic mat. This is going to be such a fun picnic mat, but it's also going to be very convenient to use outside. I can take it to the park, I can take it to the beach. This adorable mat with the additional detail on the corner makes this look high-end and one of a kind. This mat is going to be the centerpiece for our tablescape, which we are going to put together when we're done with all of our DIYs, and it is going to be fantastic. So now that we're done with our picnic mat transformation, let's move on to some more mystery box items. For our next project, we are going to be using the baseball, the citrus notebook paper, the contact info foam, and those adorable Minnie Mouse sunglasses. If that sounds like a hodgepodge of items, you are correct. It is. You would never put items like that together, but we are going to do it today. We're going to start off with the baseball. Now, we love this baseball, but we are actually going to take away the sleeve, the coating from the outside of a baseball. Have you ever wondered what was underneath that? I've never seen it. So we're going to check this out together. So I got my seam ripper and I cut the threads that hold the baseball together. The seam ripper is perfect. I can get right into those red threads and cut them. Once I had enough of the threads cut, I pulled out the ball from within. I don't know what I was expecting, but I was a little underwhelmed. It just was the same ball with thread all over it. So we're gonna cut that thread using the seam ripper. I kept my fingers crossed that the entire inside wasn't just thread. We would definitely be in trouble if that happened. Once the seam ripper had cut away enough threads, I pulled out the ball that was inside, and it looked like a recycled bouncy ball. So now you know what is underneath the covering of a baseball. Because our theme is cherries, I want to spray paint this ball red. So I headed over to Hobby Lobby and I got some red spray paint. And funny enough, this spray paint is actually called Cherry Red. So I know it's going to be perfect for our projects. So I simply put this ball on a plate because I didn't want it to roll around, and then I began to spray it with this spray paint. I painted the entire ball in the red spray paint. Once it was completely coated, I let it dry for an hour. I brought my newly painted ball back inside, and to me, it looks like a meatball. Doesn't look like a cherry, it looks like a giant meatball because it's got all those little craggly edges around it. This looks like it's been stewing in some marinara sauce for a couple hours. That is not the look we're going for. We're gonna have to improvise just a little bit on this project. And I had some of this white and pink gingham fabric that was left over from a thrift flip where I took a picnic basket and I added some of this fabric to the center. This pink and white gingham fabric matches our picnic mat perfectly. So this is definitely going to be another theme of the day besides the cherries and the bows. So what I did was I cut out a square of this fabric, and then because we don't want our ball to roll around, what I did was I got that contact information, that little foam thing, and I put my baseball over the top of that. I traced around it with a pencil and then cut out a circle with my fabric scissors. I added hot glue to the circle and pressed my baseball on top of the foam. Now I can have peace of mind knowing it's got a little extra stability and it's not going to roll around. And then I placed my meatball in the center of our gingham fabric. And then I went and got a wooden skewer and poked the pointed end into our giant meatball. The ball right now is like the same texture as a bouncy ball, so I was able to poke that skewer in there really easily. And then I trimmed off the top so it wasn't so tall. The next item we are going to use from our mystery box is our notebook. This is the orange soda notebook, and it actually smells pretty good. It smells like citrus. So that's kind of fun to have. We are going to be pulling out a couple of pages from the inside, and I'm actually going to only end up using one. And then I pulled out this scrapbook paper from my stash that I've had for a while, and I'm going to pop out a couple of the shapes. The first one is going to be a green and white scalloped edge frame, which is going to match perfectly with some other scalloped items that we're going to use in just a little bit. Then I'm going to place my notebook paper over the top of the scrapbook frame, trace around it, and then cut out the size I need. Then I got some hot glue and I hot glued the notebook paper to the scrapbook paper frame. Then I poked out another one of our shapes. This one said "Life is Sweet," and I hot glued that to the center of our notebook paper. And then the final item that we're going to add to our little sign is one more of those little cherry stickers. So I just placed that in the top corner. Then I got some hot glue and I added it to the wooden skewer and then pressed our paper sign to the skewer. Now I'm going to gather up the gingham fabric and I'm going to get a leaf ribbon that I purchased at Hobby Lobby. I'm going to wrap that around the fabric and tie it into a knot. Can you see our vision coming to fruition just a little bit? It's going to be like a little place card holder sign that we can put on our tablescape. Now, one other item that we are going to use on this place card holder sign is the Minnie Mouse sunglasses. If you look at the lenses, they're shaped kind of like a heart, but they could also look like a cherry. What I did was I removed the lenses from the glasses. Those lenses were actually in there pretty tight, but I was determined to get them out, and luckily I was able to punch them out without cracking them. Then I took these two lenses outside, I put them on a paper plate, and I sprayed them in the red cherry spray paint. I made sure that the entire lens was completely coated in the red spray paint, and then I let them dry for an hour. And I still have these sweet Minnie Mouse sunglasses that I can use, right? Pretty fancy. I think they go with this outfit. Okay, no they do not, but that's okay. What we're going to do now is we're going to hot glue these cherry lenses to the ends of the leaf ribbon. So I added some hot glue to the leaf ribbon and then I pressed the first cherry lens to one end, and then I added some more hot glue to the opposite ribbon and pressed that cherry lens to the ribbon. And now we're done with our cute little sign that we made out of a baseball, contact card information, a piece of paper from a notebook, and sunglasses. Yeah, pretty random, right? But I think it looks so cute and it's going to be absolutely adorable on our tablescape. I think this was such a clever thing to make, and everybody needs a reminder that life is sweet. For our next project, we are going to be using that little sand pail that you can take to the beach. I think it's absolutely adorable, and it is filled with all kinds of molds that you can put sand in, and it also comes with a shovel. How awesome is that? We, however, are not going to be using that. We are only interested in the pail itself. Now, it's a great size because it's nice and small, but we don't like that color, so we're going to, first of all, remove the handles, and then we're going to take it outside and we're going to spray it in some white Rust-Oleum spray paint. I made sure that the first side was coated in the spray paint, then I let it dry for 20 minutes. I came back, flipped the pail over, and painted the opposite side, and then I let it dry for an hour. This pail is going to be the bottom of a mini cake stand, so we need a topper. I have a wood square that's going to work perfectly for the top. And then we're also going to be using some more of this pink and white gingham fabric. We are going to Mod Podge the fabric to the top of our wood square. And I'm going to be using the washable Mod Podge just in case I need to wipe off the top of the cake stand. I placed the wood square on top of the fabric, I traced around it, and then cut out the square with fabric scissors. Then I got a sponge brush and my Mod Podge. I brushed on the Mod Podge all over the surface of the wood square. I made sure it was completely coated in the Mod Podge. Then I gently laid the fabric over the top and pressed it firmly to the wood. I made sure that I had pressed out all of the air bubbles that may have been trapped underneath the fabric. That way it lays flat and it's well adhered to the top of the wood. Once the fabric was in place, I painted the surface of the fabric in the Mod Podge. I made sure it was completely covered in the Mod Podge. You don't want to leave any areas exposed. Once the fabric had been coated in the Mod Podge, I let it dry for 1 hour. Now I'm going to flip my pail over and I'm going to add hot glue to those raised areas. Then I took my pink and white gingham square and pressed that to the hot glue. I pressed it firmly so that it adhered well. One thing about this cake stand that would have really bothered me was that you can see the wood on the exposed edge around it. So we've got to cover that up. And I'm going to do that with a gold paint pen that I purchased from the Dollar Tree. So I traced around the edge of the wood. The gold paint pen finishes off the edge. It covers up the raw wood and it also adds a lovely color contrast to our cake stand. Our mini cake stand needs some more embellishments, so we are going to use our strawberry milky bubbles. What I'm going to do is just use the wand only. So I peeled that away from the container. Now the wand has 3 distinct circles. 2 are the same size, 1 is not. I got some scissors and I was able to cut this trio of bubble wand circles into individual circles. I'm just going to be using 2 circles that are the same size. I put them on a paper plate and I took them outside and spray painted them in our cherry red spray paint. I painted both sides of these bubble wand circles and then I let them dry for an hour. I'm going to add these cherries to the top of our cake stand. So I got some hot glue and I added hot glue to the back of these ovals and I pressed it on the top of the cake stand. Then I added hot glue to the second oval bubble wand piece and pressed that to the top of the cake stand. And finally, I added hot glue to the back of a small segment of the leaf ribbon and placed it in between the 2 cherries. This cute little bubble wand cherry looks so great on the top of our cake stand. Now to tie our cake stand in with the other items that we're going to put in on our centerpiece, I'm going to get some more of that Dollar Tree red ribbon. I added some hot glue to the back of our pail, pressed the ribbon to the hot glue, wrapped it around the front, and then tied the ribbon into a bow. And then I'm also going to be using some more of our cherry stickers. I took 1 sticker, placed it on the end of the tail of the ribbon, took another cherry sticker and placed that on the opposite tail at the end of the ribbon. And now we're done with our cute little mini cake stand. I think it looks adorable. I love the white and pink gingham fabric, and to look at that adorable little bubble wand cherry at the corner. How cute is that? We've got the ribbon around our pail, which is going to tie everything together. This is going to be such a cute addition to our tablescape. If you like DIY decor, room transformations, thrift flips, dupes, or interior design ideas, then you have come to the right place. I post new weekly videos and I would love to share all of these interior design ideas with you, so make sure you're subscribed so you can join in on all of the fun. Our next project is going to be made with absolutely nothing from our mystery box, but we need it for our tablescape. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I was shopping at Ross and I went down the linen aisle and I found these adorable green scalloped edge napkins. They were on clearance for $3.49. That is such a great deal. I love the scalloped edges on it. They're actually really thick and high quality. I purchased 2 of these, so I have a total of 8 napkins. Now, I really love this green tone. It's going to coordinate fantastically with our picnic mat. So we need to take our plain napkins and embellish them. And we're going to be using some more of those bows that we used on our picnic mat. I loaded my smart red iron-on vinyl into my Cricut Maker. Once my 8 bows had been cut out, I hit the flashing arrow button, which released my material. Now I'm able to weed away all the excess vinyl from around my bows. And then I cut the bows into individual pieces. I'm going to be placing the bows on the corner of our cloth napkins. So I just simply took the vinyl bow, placed it in the corner, and then I got my easy press back out. I'm once again heating it up to 330 degrees and setting the timer for 30 seconds. Once the 30 seconds were up, I removed my easy press from the top of the vinyl and then peeled away the protective coating over the top. At this point, I just went to town and added all the bows to the corners of the cloth napkins. This process goes by so fast. In no time, I had 8 customized green scalloped napkins with a beautiful red bow. Look at how beautiful, customized, and original these cloth napkins look. These are going to be a fantastic addition to our tablescape. Not only are they going to coordinate with our cherry design today, but how cute would these be at Christmas time? We've got the green napkin with the red bow. So I'm going to be able to use these cloth napkins throughout the entire year. They're very versatile and one of a kind. The next mystery box item that we are going to be transforming are the Popsicles. I think these watermelon popsicle forms are so cute, but we are not going to be using them for popsicles. So what we need to do is remove these little handles first, because we are going to be cutting our watermelon popsicle forms into individual triangles. The way that I'm going to do that is by using my wood burning tool. The wood burning tool melts the plastic in the center and separates these 2 pieces. The wood burning tool melted through that plastic like hot butter, and in no time I had 2 separate watermelon popsicle forms. We are going to take these forms outside and spray them in the white gloss Rust-Oleum spray paint. I made sure that the forms were completely covered in the spray paint. Once they were, I let them dry for an hour. I came back, flipped them over, and painted the opposite side. Once again, I made sure that they were completely covered in the white spray paint, and then I let them dry for an additional hour. Next, we're going to take some more of those cherry stickers and place those in the center of our container. I am definitely getting my money's worth out of these cherry stickers today. They are so cute and so sparkly, and they really pop against the white paint. I placed the first sticker in the middle of the first popsicle form, then placed the second cherry sticker in the middle of our second popsicle form. Just like our ice cream cone floral arrangement, we are going to turn these containers into vases for some floral arrangements. Now I have 2 bunches of pink peonies, and what I did was I took the first bunch, I bent the stem, and I just nestled it right into the popsicle form. I added these pink flowers to both of the forms. They are going to look so cute placed next to our ice cream cone floral arrangement. These are just mini versions of our ice cream cone floral arrangement, and they are going to look absolutely fabulous placed on our tablescape next to all of the other floral arrangements. There is one more item from the mystery box that we have not used yet, and it is the bucket hat. Do you guys remember the last time we did the mystery box challenge and we had that tropical shirt? And we were so lucky to have Tropical Ken model that shirt for us. Well, I thought that I could talk Ken in to modeling the hat for us today. So come on out, Fisherman Ken. Let's see the hat. Let's see the hat. Woo! Let's see. She wants to show. It's got cherries on it.
Cherries.
So we did change it a little bit. Okay, put it on. Let's show everybody. Walk to the camera. Oh yeah, looks good.
Amazing.
Step back. Okay, so that concludes, thank you very much, Ken. That concludes all the mystery box items, so now it's time to create our tablescape.
Lucky, lucky, lucky me.
So here we are at the breakfast table, and the first thing we're going to do is place a neutral white tablecloth down first, because our pink cherry mat is not big enough to cover up the whole table. So this is going to act more as like a center point, kind of an accent runner, if you will, kind of a large one, but I made sure that the points were at both ends. That way you can see this cute bow design. In my last video, I talked a lot about Dollar Tree chargers. We are going to be using a clear charger and a white plate for each of the place settings. Because we have a lot of texture and pattern going on, we want to keep the charger and the plate neutral. That way, when we get our cloth napkins, which are so cute, I still can't get over it, I love it. I'm going to put the napkin through a crystal and gold napkin ring, and then I'm going to place it in the center of each one of our plates. Because the plate is neutral, it lets our napkin shine. Another item that I love using from the Dollar Tree are their glasses, especially when they have specialty glasses, like these cute little pink ones. Now, I like to do water in my big goblets, and then I like to do a special drink in the smaller ones. You could do pink lemonade or some kind of cherry juice that would be great with this tablescape. So each one of our place settings are going to get this glass goblet and one of these pink small cups. Plus, I love how these pink cups coordinate with all the other pink that we have on our tablescape. And then also I've got my B monogrammed silverware. Now it's time for our centerpiece. I'm going to start off with a beautiful large pink floral arrangement, and then I've got these two pink ginger jars that ties in all the other pink that we have through our tablescape. And now we can place all of the gorgeous floral arrangements that we made earlier with our mystery box items. These cute little floral arrangements and signs are going to fill in any vacant space that we may have on the centerpiece. And then we've also got our cute little cake stand. If this were a real live dinner party, I would not be able to put food on the table. I would have to put it right here, which is fine. I like to do buffet style dinner parties anyway, so everybody can just get their food from here and then come sit down and enjoy the beautiful centerpiece and all the other decor that we have on our table. And now we are done setting our stunning tablescape. I love the way that it looks. It is bright, cheerful. I love the cherry theme. The pink, white, and red is such a great color combination. The napkins look stunning in the center of each one of our plates. Our cherry inspiration mat is definitely the jumping off point and the piece that ties everything together. It's got the gingham fabric, the cherries, the bows, the color scheme, it's got it all. Not only does it look fantastic on my tablescape right now, but it's definitely practical. I can take it outside and use it if I'm gonna have a picnic. This centerpiece turned out so cute with our floral arrangements, our ginger jars, the cake stand with a candle on top. And I love adding candles to all of my tablescapes. I love the ambiance that the flickering flame adds. Can you believe that we created this stunner out of very random mystery box items? Items that you would look at and say, hey, let's give those to the kids and go play outside. Well, we were able to turn all of those pieces into stunning home decor, which proves that you can live beautifully. You can do it with random items from any closet in your house. You can definitely do it on a budget. A big shout out to Courtney from Creative on the Cheap for hosting this mystery box challenge and for sending me my mystery box. I sent my mystery box to Whitney, so head on over to Whitney's channel next to see what I challenged her with. I will leave a link to the playlist in my description box. Now, coming up next week, Natalie and I are doing a thrift flip challenge. We have already gone shopping, you guys. We already have our items. It was a blast. We had so much fun as always. So make sure you're subscribed so you won't miss out on that episode. Well, I hope you got some inspiration or some ideas today. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much for watching.